Hey there, this is my little show about the Star Wars films because there's a new films coming out, which we all seen millions of ads for now, and everyone's doing these videos where they be pro the original trilogy, prequel haters, in between the prequels, you know, various opinions, all of which assume they're right. And I'm doing this video, have an opinion about the films, but I don't assume my view is the perfect view because everyone has their own opinions, and I think really a lot of the time, a lot of people are just too strong in their own opinions to alienate other people. Like the grown ups who grew up with Star Wars hate the prequels, but they're so insistent, and everyone likes the prequels are idiots that I think that's wrong. Even though I have problems with the prequels, I think you should actually just try and have a live and let live attitude. You're not you're not always right, so just try and enjoy it. Try and enjoy the films, and a lot of people enjoy the films, but other ones they like. So I'm going to start the Phantom Menace. The way I'm going to do it is I'm doing the first of each trilogy. So I'll be doing Star Wars next, and then I'll be doing the middle part of each trilogy, which is Attack of the Clones, and then Empire Strikes Back. I'll finish off with Revenge of the Sith and the Return of the Jedi. I'll do each one individually, so you can see them in any order you want. But this is the way I'm going to watch the films to try and make it more interesting, because the trilogy are meant to sort of relate to each other. So I'm just watching how they relate at the beginning, the middle, and the end. Okay, I'll start with the Phantom Menace. I'll start off with my view of the Phantom Menace. It's probably the worst of the Star Wars films so far. I'm sure there's going to be worse ones eventually with one film a year. I think Disney's doing. I'm sure there'll be worse ones than this. I think it's a very flawed film, but there are good points to it as well. I mean, the two films I have the most problems with in Star Wars actually is the Phantom Menace and Return of the Jedi, because I hate the Ewoks. I just hate them. So that should be fun when you get to Return of the Jedi. As I ran about the Ewoks. I've had this hate since I was about 10, so that'll be fun. um, so the Phantom Menace, I mean, the big thing to say the Phantom Menace is it's a film made by a guy who hadn't made a film for 20 years, and you can tell straight away because of there's pacing issues that are hard to ignore, and there's some stiffness in actors that are hard to ignore. But there's also nice things in the film too. So the main flaw I think really is the story isn't set up properly, because the first third's rushed through so much that you don't have a chance to actually get the characterization that the film needs to get you through the rest of the scenes. So basically they start off in the ships, come down to the planet, save Natalie Portman's Padme character, and then get off the planet. And it's done in a rush, and you don't get a sense of the planet really from that, because it's just a rush from one bit to the next, which the other films, even the later films after this, didn't do, because I think they realised what they'd done and they corrected it after that. But the problem here is that you don't get a chance to really know the Jedi, which is Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan Kenobi, or the person they're rescuing, because you're just rushing from one to the next. And you engage Jar Jar Binks, who I don't hate. He's kind of annoying, but I don't hate him in any way. It's just like, he's a character. Doesn't bother me. Kids love him. Basically, the Star Wars fans for the originals are way over the top with which they hate him. He's just a character that's kind of annoying. So what? So basically, the problem is they don't actually they set it up, and don't create enough mood in the first section when we're on the ship to create threat from the villains, which is a real problem because you never get the threat after that until Darth Maul shows up, and it's really difficult for the film to get beyond that because you don't really fear the Trade Republic at all, because the first 10 minutes, which is to set that up, is too short, and they don't really show how nasty they can be the way they did with the Empire. So that leaves the film without a real threat, which is a big problem. Then they go down to the planet, they just go to one place, which is the Gungans, for 5 minutes at the most, and you don't really get a sense of them either before you're rushing through to save Padme, basically. And it leaves you without any character. So, I mean, the best thing this film could have done was create more mood when they were in the spaceship and made it much harder to get the spaceship in the first place, and then have them visit a few places on Naboo before they get to the palace, so you get an idea of the people who are rounded up, and then throughout the film actually see these people being affected by the Trade Federation and watch the threat to them. That would have solved a lot of problems with this film, because you actually would have felt the threat towards people, and by the time you got to the end and you'd really want them to succeed, to survive. Now you don't really care, and that's a real problem with the film, because you don't care about the place you're meant to care about because it's been too rushed. So that's the problem, and throughout the film, that problem just keeps killing the film's pace. So, because if you notice, when they go to Tatooine after this, the pace is much slower. It's probably too slow. But you get to know who the characters are. I mean, you get to know Anakin. You may not like him, but you get to know what he's about. Because that's the main setup, that's the main story. So you get that, and you actually understand who he is and what he's about, which you never get with Naboo, and you needed that, and you didn't get that. That have solved a lot of problems with the film. The other big problem with Naboo is Natalie Portman's Padme character, which I think is, for me, the biggest problem with the prequels. I like Natalie Portman in other films. She's really good in other films. This one, it didn't work. It just didn't work. She just wasn't the right person for this character. The character should have been tougher. And she just looks like she's about to give up every minute. And it becomes this problem. And she's been tough in other movies, but it's directed and written a certain way which just doesn't work. And she looks more and more awkward in each film, and you can see they've realised they've made a mistake at some point, because her character gets less and less to do as the films progress. So it's a problem even here, because you don't get that drive to succeed you get with Princess Leia. In this film you don't get that, and it really cripples the film as we go along. She just seems too passive, and the film doesn't work because of that, because you just don't have the driving force. And also because they jump from person to person, from the Jedi to her to Anakin. There's no central character in this film. It's maybe set up 3 or 4 characters that would lead you through the whole trilogy, but you don't spend enough time with them. And then when Obi-Wan, they get to Tatooine, you don't see Obi-Wan for like half an hour. And that's a problem, because they shouldn't sit in his character, because he's a central character in the rest of the films. And he's not there, and all the character work has to be left till the second one, and it's too late. So that one decision cripples Obi-Wan for a lot of the films too, because they should have set that relationship with Anakin up a lot earlier, which they don't, and it's a problem for the trilogy basically. So there's all these little problems that build up and build up. So by the time you get to Coruscant, which is the politics, they're talking about a planet you don't care about. So those scenes don't have a chance, because you're just thinking, get back to the action, because I don't care about this place you're talking about. So they're actually, when you look at those scenes in Coruscant, they're only about 10 minutes long, because you have the Jedi stuff and that stuff. It's only 10 minutes long, it just feels longer because you don't care. And then we get to the final battle, you still don't care what happens to anyone. And so it becomes a lot of special effects. But there's so much CGI in this final battle, which I don't mind, because it's a stylization. But it means, because the character hasn't been set up for the rest of the film, you're a bit distant. But it's been worse than other films. I mean, I've just watched the last Hobbit movie, Battle of the Five Armies, and it was so much worse for that, because they had an hour and a half of battles of CGI characters that you did not care about at all. I mean, the Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies is much worse than Phantom Menace for that. Or it's much worse than Phantom Menace generally, because it's a really weak film. So, the good stuff with Phantom Menace is the worlds. Even though they didn't do the work and scripts to set these worlds up, they're still beautiful worlds. Naboo's a beautiful world that was underestimated because people hate some of these films. You know how beautiful Naboo is, and how well designed Tatooine is, and how beautiful Coruscant is. These are really imaginative worlds that were underrated because people don't like the film, but they're wonderfully done. They're really still some of the most imaginative fantasy worlds we've had in film in the last 20 years. They're just beautiful the way they've been done. and all the details, you can tell they actually cared about all these details, and they actually spent a lot of time in every planet and everything done. So it's still a wonderful fantasy, and the midsection of the tune is really good. I mean, there were weaknesses in performances, but the atmosphere is good. The pod race is brilliant, and I think the middle section where you see Liam Neeson working with the kid playing Anakin, he really helps him along in the film, and there's a story there and there's a real connection there which actually works. But I mean, there's still weaknesses, but it actually works a lot better than people give it credit for. It's just it doesn't continue throughout the rest of the film. It's underplayed after that, and you feel there should have been more. I mean, also the Darth Maul sequences are all brilliant. I mean, people say that there's not enough of them, but I think there is. It's just the rest of the film is stronger, you'd have felt more. And if the Trade Federation was stronger, you'd have felt more presence. I think the Trade Federation sort of limited his abilities as a villain. Because I think if they were stronger, his death at the end would have really had an impact. And at the moment it has an impact, but it's not as much. So it's still a strong film for those elements. It's just weak because of the plot. It just doesn't quite connect. Plus, I try to do an Alexander Dumas thing with all these characters going through this world, and there's lots of people with masks and lots of people with hidden identities, which should have worked, but it didn't work because there wasn't enough character details getting to that. If you look at something like the Three Musketeers story, there's a lot of details each place that actually get you to the next place. This thing they try to do that, they don't actually pull it off, so it becomes here, and doesn't quite work as well. So The Phantom Menace is a very flawed film, but it's also a very beautiful film, and I think it's been trashed more than it should have been. I think it should have been seen basically as a first movie that wasn't strong as the rest of the movies, but it's okay. I mean, it's fine, kids love it, and I think if you look at it with some affection for the series, it's fine. You just have to be aware it's not the strongest. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and I'll soon be on to Star Wars. So goodbye for now.